are going to rejoin you guys as you guys are making your way through the hyperbolic time chamber, trying to find one of the last six relics. I'm sorry, not last six, but one of the six relics that you don't have yet. This will be the divine key that you're seeking out. And you guys have just finished handling some experiences that have been thrown at you along the way to find this place. It seems like no matter how hard you tried, your path was magically corrected back to the points of interest that the map maker had placed for you. Last session, you guys came upon, I think we just did the one encounter last time, which was the scholar, who was surrounded by warriors lost in time. Those that Kami kind of warned you about before entering, that had kind of gone mad and see everyone as a threat. You had the option to sacrifice the scholar by destroying his protection and giving him to the warriors, but you decided to defend him. And get another clue or piece of information on perhaps as soon as you did, and their map showed the rest of the way to the key you can see. You guys, were on your wagon already, I believe, and just heading towards the next spot. Is there anything I left out or anything that you guys want to do before you keep heading to that next location on your map?
I think time is of the essence.
Okay. So you guys press forward through the endless space and time of the chamber, seeing just white, clear white space everywhere you can see, radiant white light, and a little bit hard to see. Heat and everything has been getting to you guys, affecting you in various ways along your way through here, so seeing your movement or making it hard for you to rest. But the only thing you can see from behind you is that big hourglass that seems to be ticking away, and it looks to be getting pretty close to half. Luckily, as you guys continue to push forward for a few hours on your wagon, you start to see this altar in the middle of nowhere, sitting before you. It has a few pillars kind of surrounding it, but in the center is a stone altar that just has this light kind of glowing from it. And closer and closer you guys approach, it's clear you see a little smaller object. It seems to be the thing that you've been looking for. Do you guys continue ahead?
Yeah. Cautiously, probably. Maybe.
Okay. Alright. As you approach, go ahead and give me perception checks. An eye out.
Perception. We didn't get a long rest, correct?
Some of you did, some of you did not.
Right, I did not.
I believe it was you in Skype or you in. But it reflected itself as a point of exhaustion.
Yes.
Do you remember Cronus or Skywarp if it was you had the thing?
What?
The last con save you guys made while you were traveling, when you guys started to try to take a long rest, that you guys could rest in.
Oh, I know that one. I passed mine.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Salim, Callie, Skyward, and just Callie and Skyward. As you guys get closer and closer to this altar and the pillars, you are going to see that there is a figure kind of moving between the pillars that was not quite in line of sight with you, but as you approach, you see him kind of pacing around this altar. You see he's got long white hair and a gray beard, wearing an indigo bluish type of robe as you approach. He stops kind of in his tracks. You guys are, as he's kind of approaching away. I assume you guys continue with your approach. Do As you guys get closer, you... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Callie's just gonna... That is somebody watching. Just so the others know.
Right? Let's just be cautious and slowly approach.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys get closer and closer, you clearly can this levitate altar in the center of the area, and the features of the older man starts.
You're cutting in and out.
Am
Yeah,
I? Let me
little
adjust my. Better, worse?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. As you guys kind of start to pick out its features, you start to see a lot of familiarity that you get upon the altar and area. You see the man, see the face of the map, maybe wearing entirely different clothing. He's a little bit more regal in his garb, and he's a little bit more. His eyes and his voice, or his eyes, just seem like they have a lot of weight behind them, a lot of thoughts behind them. Move. And he kind of approaches you, he kind of watches you guys approach closer and closer. As you guys get within reasonable distance, he will start to speak. Adventurer, you've journeyed far, faced many challenges to reach this point. I am Thalarin, guardian of the relic you seek. Throughout your quest, I've watched you closely, testing your resolve and your heart. And as he starts to talk, his appearance starts to shift and change, and you start to recognize the first the mad. He says, "You encountered me as a madman doing nonsense. That you showed me kindness, settled my nerves with a." He transforms into the guild master at the bazaar that you saw when you were shopping and lost in the market. He says, I witnessed your compassion for the merchant who swindled you when you could just. You gave hope to a soul who had lost it, joy to a boy who had forgotten, closure to a man who could not achieve his life. And he shifts form for each person. You freed the scholar when it could have been easier to give those lost souls what they were seeking. Now you stand before me, having proven your worth. I've seen your character and your spirit. I believe that you may be the most righteous of all Merlin's followers yet. The true test lies ahead. Can you dispatch the world of Chernobog, where your predecessors have failed before? I believe you have the hearts to complete where the others have failed before. You have what it takes to see it through, to destroy Chernobog for good, even if it would cost you everything as you know it. He kind of pauses and says, your resolve must not be faltered. You will surely fall like the others before you and become corrupted like the Merlin's first follower. I can share, in addition to guarding this key, I also have knowledge of how the relic turn.
You're cutting in and out again, and it's kind of important.
Fuck. Is it? Better? Worse? How is about the same?
That was fine.
Okay. You've passed all challenges better than those that had came before you. And I know that you are, that this key will aid you in your journey. But to defeat Chernobog, you will have to use the spell that I shared with the followers before you, and that Merlin has trusted me in keeping. stuck in this prison forever. He'll say, until now, followers have only been able to seal Chernobog away. But I've studied this spell and I've shared it with the followers before. I believe that this spell can be used to defeat Chernobog for good, but at the cost of Merlin's life as well. I believe the only way to end this cycle is to bind the two together and trap them away forever. I must admit, my research is theoretical, and I do not know quite what the cost would be to your worlds. But I believe it can end the rapture in this endless cycle of creation and destruction. I do not know what the world will be, though, without its creator. And, yeah, and he kind of pauses and looks upon you all.
I mean, what has it been with him here? We thought he was gone long ago. Does it really change much?
Not being present and not being on, in your world, maybe two different things.
Then perhaps we do. And perhaps getting him and Chernobog out of here destroys the world again. But we're already on that path anyway.
Exactly.
I hope
This way there's a hope it doesn't.
from my study of the spell for eons and eons, I do not believe it would blink and destroy everything, but I do believe it will transform the world as you know it. For what, for all the things that Merlin has blessed the worlds with, magic, planes of existence, the different things that keep your worlds out of chaos. These things that were constructs and things put in place by Merlin. I hope, or my hope is, from what I've researched and studied, is that it will cause the two to fight or to be sealed with one another forever, keeping the things they put in place together, while freeing you from, or while forcing them to complete their endless battle in their own prison.
To be fair, I don't think losing him would be that big. Having him here is potentially holding the fabric of reality together, it sounds. From what else all I've heard, torturous as well. If not, at least to his previous champions. Something has to end this. Options sound great.
It's probably better than what's going on now, so if we can end this cycle, then let's end the cycle.
For good. We don't need others taking this up in a few millennia.
Exactly.
You all seem very confident and sure, and I'm glad to hear this. The first followers failed to follow my instructions, and as the other followers shared with me, had fallen to the corruption of not being sure of themselves. Chernobog played on their weaknesses and their eagerness for power and taking shortcuts to get the job done at any cost, and turned them against Merlin, forcing him to utilize the spell to seal Chernobog again. But I believe if you were a sound mind and still able, sound mind and will, that you might be able to complete what the others had failed. He goes, I've yet to learn why the second group failed. Something I hope that once reunited with all the other relics that Kalok may remember and be able to share with us. For now, I've just been watching watching and protecting this key until the next followers can make it here. And I shall I shall share the ritual with you just as I shared with the others then. And this is going to kind of, mirror the clues that you got as you kind of went through the chamber of time. He'll say, first you need to study the stars and planets in your world. And he'll give you kind of like, he'll do some prestidigitation and kind of make it, imitate it. A sky full of stars above where you guys are standing now. And he will show the stars and the planets kind of start disappearing from the sky. And until eventually they're in a nice line of almost like in a perfect alignment, pointing to a certain direction. Once the stars and everything have started to disappear, the path to the prison of Chernobog will be revealed to you. Once you get there, you will need to use your relics in order to invoke the ritual spell to bind Chernobog or bind them together once and for all. Once you are ready and you have formed, you will need to repeat the chant of old to force the two to become one in their prison again. And he'll share that those words with you. You'll need to repeat this 3 times when you go to try to seal the two in their prison. And he says, and I'll put this in the chat, but of the ancient days, 2 halves asunder hold. Hearken to his binding plea, merge thy light, thy darkened soul. Thrice we call with heart and voice, thrice we summon by the law. Before the dawn breaks the night, be once more. And I'll put that in general, or I'm sorry, gens. And he will kind of just, step aside in case you guys want to approach the altar with the key with bright shining diamond inside of it, and the headpiece of the key. But he's still willing to answer questions or talk with you if you have anything else.
So, do we need all of the keys for us to do this? Or just...
He'll nod.
Right.
You must you must collect all the relics in order to complete this spell.
All right.
He kind of examines each of you, and it seems you're quite well on your way.
We are?
Callie's gonna just approach it. The key.
Sure. As you approach the key and touch it, Callie, it does hum and resonate with you. And as you kind of get, your fingers kind of go across the key, it'll start to emanate this light and energy from it, and you'll see the energy start to take the form of this humanoid creature with these big wings coming from their back, and they finally materialize before you, appearing as the follower Merlin. and you see um, this woman standing before you, um, with her glowing blue eyes and golden and white armor and clothing upon her. And she will say to you all, or say to you at the approach as well as the other ones, greetings. I am once the humble servant of Merlin, now guardian of forgotten truths. For centuries I've dwelled in this timeless expanse of this chamber, meditating on the cycles of light and darkness that shape our world. In this place where time flows like a river without end, I've seen the rise and fall of many eras, and I've come to understand the delicate balance that holds our universe together. You've gone through much trouble to reach me in this, and reclaim this relic. And I hope that you will succeed where me and my friends have failed. At this time, all of you comparing keys, your followers will also become their physical forms and be in this group setting. And you'll start to notice that as they are finally all once united again, once another, that there's a change in their manners and their body language and a certain form of realization of things that were long lost, forgotten. Valoran will speak up and say, one of the consequences of using the spell is losing your memory. But bringing them all back together, I think, will help, should help them rekindle that. He looks over at Kalok and says, Kalok, what happened to cause you to fail where the others, caused your group to fail as well? You showed so much promise. And she'll share a story that you guys are fairly familiar with, and she will detail the story of when they went to go attack Chernobog and use the spell to seal Merlin and Chernobog together, that they were surprised by the attack of the Dark Disciples upon them. And with the surprise, there was no chance for them to defeat them and complete the spell in time. She'll share that the others and herself saw this as the only way of possibly giving the world one more chance, and that is by sacrificing themselves to repeat the cycle, and hopefully leave enough clues and information behind to inspire the next followers of Merlin. She'll go on to describe things that her and the other followers had left behind, such as the carvings and the ruins in the temple of Neptune. She'll talk about some of the markings that the followers made and other ruins that you heard Hanika speaking of, and some other places that you've been or visited along your journeys before coming here. Merlin told his own story to perpetuate what he always wants, to defeat Chernobog and seal him away from hurting us. But we've now learned through Thalarin that that might not be what's best for all of Fantasia. And she'll look at you, Nika, or sorry, you, Callie. If I give you my protection, my power, will you try to succeed and make up for our failures?
I lost enough friends trying to get the other half of this key. The only way to honor that is to finish what we started.
You will notice that there are some symbols upon her that reflect the god Isis from Egyptian mythology. And she, as you grab the key, you'll see that it starts to materialize into this glowing yellow or bright glowing shield that has the symbol of Isis on the center. And as you hold it, you see the symbol start to shift and change into a beautiful rose reflecting your goddess that you that you support or that you worship. And I'll give you the item real quick and show you what it looks like super fast.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's pretty.
And and you're now holding this shield that seems to be glowing with radiant and divine light. Every touch of it seems to be etched or possibly even made by the gods themselves. I believe you guys can. And Dalaran will nod in agreement with her as well. Alayo, Talos, Ristel, Zoran, Solana, all of them also look in agreement, looking on you. And each kind of will share stories of the trials and tribulations that they've witnessed you guys go through over your many, many months of traveling and effort to to defeat this looming tragedy coming towards you and the rest of the world. And they'll all share the accolades and things that you guys have accomplished over your travels, reaffirming kind of the same thing that Kalok is sharing with you. I'm going to pause for breath just in case someone would like to say it and I hasn't had the chance. I know it's been a lot of monologue, so.
I think Lauren is just taking in all the people around her.
Alio will kind of put his hand on your shoulder, and the others will do kind of other reassuring things to the rest of you, except for Talos, who's currently not, currently being bound to someone at the moment. Just trying to give you guys some kind of reassurance of everything, really, I guess. They're proud of you and everything that you guys have accomplished so far.
Lorna will... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Lorna will look to Lio and just kind of give him that smile and nod of thanks. Just kind of wordless thank you for your sacrifice, and then understanding what they did and whatnot.
He'll nod. And then Zoran will actually speak up. Zoran is the one that you just united with Cronus after defeating Sivius. And he'll speak up. They've already dispatched one of the Dark Disciples, a feat that we were not able to accomplish ourselves. Talos will then speak up. They also sent one of their disciples back to the darkness itself, trapping her in the world of where her father resides. And he'll continue to say more praises of your group, but all in agreement that you guys are already more successful than they were. And luckily, the surprise that happened to them does not seem like it's going to catch you off guard, and you guys reacted and responded accordingly to the world happening around you. Is there any other questions you guys would like to ask, or anything you'd like to do or say while all of your followers are kind of present and everyone's kind of here around you?
I think.
Actually,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Nope.
Um,
Yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
I would like to bring up about the whole when Sivius shattered the reality with the 2 relics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that something that can be done again? Like, with the same set of relics? Or is that, like, what exactly was that?
Valoran kind of eyes go wide. That is not something I would have taught them to use the relics for, but definitely something within their powers if he was able to unite with both. That act definitely has weakened the prison. If what you say is true, then that act will certainly weaken the prison of Chernobog, making it more and more likely for him to bleed his forces into your world. I can promise you that if the others were to complete their sets as well, and if that is really what if they truly wish for just utter chaos to ensue, I do not think it would be far-fetched for them to enact the same thing. But that said, I've never thought or recommended using the relics that way, but the power that they have is definitely capable. But now that you have one of each, you are also fully capable of possibly healing the world that as you come across it, sealing these rifts back together. It will take a ritual of with all the relic bearers present. Yet it seems that your group is still shy one.
Which relic is that? Which color of key?
Talos's key.
Gold.
There's no.
Right.
Yeah. You're in possession of it, but
Those were Anika's keys.
Yeah. Wait, so then who doesn't have a key? Oh no, we have extra. Oh, that's right. Right. We're gonna have to find somebody
time
for
to call
that.
backs up.
Yeah. Hey.
You're getting promoted from stable hand.
Surprise.
I'm sure we'll find somebody along the way. Or I don't know if Merlin is apparently still around. Malinvention will interrupt.
I mean, are you suggesting that he uses the key?
I meant he would more place somebody in our path who could.
Yes.
Assuming the old man is paying attention.
I sure hope so.
Is what these are saying.
Well, actually, Valoran's saying the opposite.
Oh, yes.
Valoran's saying that the illusion Merlin has pulled off an incredible ruse to keep his goals alive, and that is to keep himself alive and his creation alive.
So,
but at the
keep
cost
on the
of
lookout for somebody who, whatever these particular traits are.
good people like yourselves, with strong heart and spirit, as this Thalaran speaking, will attract others of likeness, other like-hearted spirits. I'm sure your accolades are known worldwide, and that's inspiring to people. So do not lose hope yet. Look for someone of merit and skill and of character that you think will support you on your quest.
Would it need to be a humanoid? As
Why?
I'm thinking Isn't there a growing dragon out there somewhere that has a connection to this group?
I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Just from
Umbra
Yes.
technically is a
dragon lore.
He's also, kind of Cronus's son, so maybe that's not.
I feel like this isn't really any of our decisions, anyways.
No.
Not really. Well, kind of. But not really.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will pop up somewhere.
Just be open when opportunity knocks.
Yes.
Perhaps if you speak to Kami, he may have someone in mind. He, after all, has watched the world go through this time and time again. If anyone has a judge for character, it would be that bastard.
Yeah. Speaking of which, and she kind of looks at the stop time thingy. How is the time looking?
It's starting to get past over, or it's starting to get past over half. So it is ticking away, and took you about a day and a half to get here. But it's also, you've had a lot of things. You've engaged in a lot and things very well, in my opinion, which is why this last thing has gone so smoothly. So,
Speaking of which, as lovely as this conversation is, time isn't exactly our friend at the moment. Is there anything we need to know? Surprises that we haven't figured or expected to happen yet?
Thalarin will kind of share the same words, or just kind of reiterate the first group failed and faltered in their resolve, and Chernobog corrupted their hearts. And then Kalok said our group was surprised by the enemy, and we couldn't defeat them, so we had to give another chance to the next generation. And they'll kind of look to you all and just say, be resolved in your decision going once you come face to face with Chernobog and Merlin. For they will definitely test your will and to do what's necessary. And a misstep may cost you the ritual itself.
All right.
Kalok and the other followers will nod to your group, and you'll see them all kind of dematerialize again and return to the relics that you've been wearing and holding. With you, Callie, bearing this new shield before you.
Mm-hmm.
Thalarin will then say, I've been lonely, but you must make haste if you are to not become a trapped old man like myself in here. Go forth with speed. I will help you along the way as best as I can to make your journey swift. But this place is a terrible place and will always work against you.
Thank you, and sorry you're trapped here.
Perhaps I'll have reprieve once you guys are successful.
Well, if it is reshaping the world, perhaps this place is part of that.
I'll nod and bid you all farewell as you guys prepare your journey to head back to the entrance that you see off way, way, way far in the distance. Is there anything you guys would like to do before you guys depart, or anything Skyboard would ask or say, or in this scenario, Howard? Okay. So I assume you all get back in your wagon and start heading out then. And start making your way towards the entrance with as much speed as possible. Now, did you guys put a spell in this today already? So you got the rest of the half of the day?
Yeah.
I could put a note.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to. I have divine magic.
So just real quick, above table stuff real fast. This is gonna be like a little bit odd versus like the rest of the relics. The rest of the relics don't evolve with this one. Like nothing quite changes with the relics you're currently bearing, but this definitely increases your group's power as you guys proceed.
Ooh.
This also means that Callie, you now obviously do the 2d6 of cosmic damage because you are bearing a relic.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that is everything else. So you guys head back on what magic you spent on the wagon, and you continue to head back, and you drive through the as far and long as possible. You will see warriors that kind of threaten the scholar along the way that notice you and will charge after you for some time. You are able to engage if you wish, but your wagon is keeping a pretty good pace to outpace them. I assume you guys push forward, or go ahead, Callie.
If they get within spell range, shoot off some cantrips, but otherwise keep going.
Yeah. Lorna will keep them at a distance as much as she can.
This trek does not seem as arduous as the gravity and the heat lightens up at every passing hour as you make your way through the chamber. Finding yourself easier to breathe, feeling a little bit quicker on your feet, feeling a little bit lightened. Although you've only spent a day and a half going deep into the chamber. As you get further away from the center and closer to the door you entered, you can feel the effects on your body, making you feel stronger, lighter, and everything. When the night that you see the hourglass off in the distance drop, revealing only about, at your estimates, about a day left of your travel. Do you guys wish to try to take another long rest while you guys drive the wagon and put another spell into it?
Probably.
Go ahead and give me Constitution saving throws then.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
Oh, Skypore. Do you want to use a fate token on that, Skyboard?
I'm good.
Okay.
You all suffer, Skybor and Saleem, you guys will suffer a point of exhaustion from not being able to rest completely through the night. But you push forward. Who's using a spell slot to keep the wagon going the next day?
I'll dump another spell.
And the wagon continues with great haste. You drive further by, you do pass the landmarks or the places that you kind of saw on the way there. The bazaar magically allows you to go around it, unlike before. The place where the scholar was locked away, you see empty now. And now, in the last day, as you drive for hours and hours through, you even see the study quarters of where you first met Valoran in his madman state. And you just see a disheveled mess with nobody present currently in the dwelling. Time's working against you, but you guys have made haste through and made really great work of the challenges that you encountered in the hyperbolic time chamber. And with using every bit of the time that was allotted for you, you eventually make it back to the door leading out of the chamber. I assume you put your wagon away and you all depart as soon as possible.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Fuck out of there.
Mm.
Keep me honest here. I can't remember exactly what I said the dilation was. I know it's not bad. It's not bad, I promise. But did I say it would be a day, or did I say it would be an hour after you guys got back time wise? I just keep me honest on it. I'm fine either way.
I don't know, actually.
I actually have no idea.
I don't think we got what it was.
Okay. I'll go with what I guess canon is for it, which is I think 1 day is 1 year inside of it. But obviously you guys only spent 3 days because of all the people that you sent in. So that's what we shall do. And as you guys step outside the door, you see that dawn is coming up, and that you see a sleepy Mr. Popo kind of resting by the door. Waiting for your guys' return. The noise of the door opening kind of disturbs him from his slumber, and he wakes up and he looks happy and excited to see all 5 of you safe and returned to this world. He gets up and starts shouting and excited, Kami, come here, you must come! And he just runs off in search of Kami immediately. Where would you guys like to go on the air? Do you want to go after him, trying to find Kami?
We probably should.
Sure.
You follow Popo out, and you walk out to the big marble kind of platform that you first landed upon, that's just hovering over in the middle of the sky on this tower, on this super high tower. You look around in the distance, seeing the thunder and lightning of the swirling storm that protects the the spiraling isles. And you see Kami standing at the edge, kind of looking over. He seems looking over the edge. Upon closer approach, you see his eyes closed, and he's sitting there meditating. Hearing Mr. Popo's voice, he turns around to greet you all. And says, well, you all done better than, you all did good, and you made it out just as, Mr. Popo expected.
Insight check. No.
I never doubted you for 1 minute.
We appreciate that.
You've endured trials that few can comprehend, and in doing so, you've gained knowledge that others before you have come to learn and have failed. You've learned the same truths that the other followers had learned before you. And it is not my place to tell you what to do with that knowledge. He'll kind of take you to walk away from you, asking you to follow, kind of like without asking, kind of him motioning you to follow him into the other room. And in this other room, if you guys choose to follow, you'll see this kind of table with a view of the world kind of below, where he kind of just can peer into different places of Fantasia. And he'll say, look around you at the beautiful beauty of this world, vibrant forests, majestic mountains, and boundless skies. It's woven with magic and life, in each strand a testament to the wonders that exist. We stand on the precipice of a great and terrible choice. You've learned the spell that combined Chernobog and defeat his dark forces for good, but at the cost of Merlin. I've pondered for many years of what would that cost be? What is magic without Merlin? Will dragons vanish from our sky? The Fae from our forests? Will the plains bleed into one another, creating a maelstrom of chaos upon the surface of our world? Or will we simply cease to exist, blinked out of reality altogether? I've seen many eras witness the rise and fall of countless civilizations. I created the Dragon Balls to undo the horrors that scarred this world, to give hope when there was none. Yet, if it meant sacrificing my life and the magic of the Dragon Balls, I would do so without hesitation if it meant sparing this world from another rapture. The choice is before you is not easy, but is yours alone to make.
It will be a tough journey, but it's something we have to do.
In all that you've seen, we do technically need a sixth person.
You wouldn't happen to know somebody?
He kind of chuckles to himself. The world has definitely turned hearts dark and what in the coming doom, but your acts of bravery and heroism has definitely inspired many people. And he kind of laughs. An idea. Looking at you, Cronus, as you, perhaps this may help you in your journey to find another to join or fight alongside you. And he'll remove the Dragon Ball that he's been keeping around his neck and hand it to you, Cronus. The one that makes the last wish of these Dragon Balls will give forth another Wishborn. One that embodies the essence of Shenron and the very wishes that these balls grant. Perhaps this will help you find another that you've been looking for to help you on your way. But don't turn an eye away from the kindness of a stranger or someone else that you see fitting along your way. Again, I'm here, I can only guide and provide insight, but it is your decision, and you must be fully confident with those that you take to bind Chernobog and Merlin away. And so he'll hand you a 5th Dragon Ball, Cronus.
Mm-hmm.
Ew, fancy.
Which I'll update your sheet after you take a long rest here. And he already shared I think he already shared Vegeta had the other two Dragon Balls. But he'll say now the challenging part, to convince Vegeta to give you the other 2 Dragon Balls if you so wish to choose to complete this. It will be hard convincing him. He's very prideful, very stern, and has quite the ego. But if anyone can convince him that his people are not the only people worth defending and saving, and that the rest of the world is also worth defending, those outside of his islands, perhaps you can help him come see the point of relinquishing his treasures. It may be a challenge, and he may be very demanding before he releases them, but your group seems to be full of surprises.
We're full of something.
I don't know, it sort of sounds like we are definitely surprisingly confident.
Hmm.
He'll examine you all and notice that you all are very, very worn in various states and conditions from your long trek through the chamber. But you all feel just, especially back in the regular world, stronger, faster, and everything. He will recommend that you all rest, or at least take time here before you head off to wherever you next are heading. And he'd be happy to help you make any arrangements or give you insight into what's happening in the world if you guys have any questions for him.
Time is appreciated, especially considering I don't know if we know where we're going next.
I don't know. Could we have the world map?
Sure.
I mean, we know 2 of them are in Arabia,
That is true.
looking for the Cave of Wonders, is what it was.
Mm-hmm. And before you guys left, he did say they were pretty close to probably finding the Cave of Wonders. But they had not found it when you guys left, and he'll confirm that they're getting close, and they'll share the same concern. I'm fearful of what will happen if they get the relic, or not only get the relic, but find the magic lamp that the magic lamp within, and what they might do with those wishes if they were to find them. Perhaps you can use the Dragon Balls to contest that, but the powers of the balls do not give you any power to affect or impact the relics themselves. The keys that you're seeking.
Right.
And I don't think we know where any of the others are, do we?
The rest of them have already been uncovered by some of the other disciples.
Right.
So the red one is the only one that's not found yet that they're still looking for.
So either we start hunting disciples, or we try to beat them to the key and the lamp.
Do any of us have the red key?
Yes. Skyward does.
Right.
You guys have definitely stopped them from being able to collect 2 keys and destroy a set like Sivius has done. So you've accomplished that goal. And you also have the ability to seal rifts that you come across.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you more ritual. I honestly didn't think about the mechanics of that. I just got like, oh, he'll give you this ritual, and then I never put a mechanic together. I'll get you a mechanic for that. But you've been per Thalarin, you guys have, by completing the set, by having one of each key at least, you guys have definitely have increased your abilities in ways to deal with the darkness.
Amazing. Well, I think we need to go get you those 2 orbs, Cronus. I think that's our next step. I feel like
I'm
there's
gonna
something else.
I'll ping that on your map real quick. You guys all can see the world map. So, Cronus, you're going to be familiar with the Samros Isles because that's where Shredder and you were kind of born and raised initially in your life. You're going to be familiar with this island here as Kuroshima.
Are you pinging a different map? Because I don't.
On the world map.
The one
The-
that's taken over?
Probably on G.
The one that has black on it?
Yes, the one with black on it, and on the far right side by the Samros Islands.
You might be on
See
the
it.
wrong layer.
Ping again?
Oh, Do I have to be on a certain layer?
The map layer?
Oh, I am not on the map layer, so
or
let me try
token
that.
layer.
That.
Anything but the GM layer, probably. There we go.
There you go.
And you will be familiar with this island on the map as Kuroshima. That is where you were raised by Shredder and the Ashi clan. And he'll speak of where Prince Vegeta is dwelling here on this island. Kami will give you some, words of caution. The Ashi and those still working for the Dark One, the Empress, are at work twofold, pushing into Vegeta's territory and starting to take over the lands under his control. Perhaps you can get him to see eye to eye, or help him to help him see the way. Though it may force you to encounter past demons. As he kind of looks at you, Cronus.
Are you prepared to do that, Cronus?
I mean, really don't have much of a choice.
I mean, you do, but
I mean, there's always a choice. You don't have to do this.
I mean, I feel like at this point it's almost you have to. That'll be fun.
you have all of us. You're not going into this alone.
Mm-hmm.
Kami will smile at that remark.
You're stuck with us.
Then I must implore you all to stay here, recover from your long journey, rest. You all must be exhausted. Eat here, relax your weary, bones, and head out tomorrow if you will so choose to rush or head out so soon. I know the lamp and the relic is hanging over your head, but you've been a lot in such a short amount of time. But you guys obviously are open to do whatever you like. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, Lorna's down for resting here. I know some of us are more exhausted than others. So she'll take up on the offer.
Sorry, Slim, I missed your whisper. As you kind of return, Argo is kind of levitating or flying kind of above the platform of Kami's lookout. Yeah, you can communicate with it. I mean, it's going to report, nothing really of interest just because it's been here at the tower and, in the middle of this maelstrom. But there doesn't seem to be any enemies or anyone that's in pursuit of you at this time. And you're muted if you're trying to say anything.
Yeah, I think we should rest here.
Alright then.
As you guys do, several dragons fly out of the storm.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are welcome to. This is some downtime. You got pretty much almost a whole day here to kind of work on anything, any pet projects, anything that you've been wanting to examine a little bit in closer detail. Whatever you guys would like to do here, investigate, ask more questions. completely open to you all.
Ooh. The blinking necrotic eye. The oracle's eye.
Oh yeah, that little weird eye I have.
Yeah. What does it do?
Should probably try and figure out what the fuck this thing does.
Yeah.
As you've kind of moved away from the chamber, it doesn't seem to be blinking or anything. It seems to be just a dead eyeball now.
Oh. Hey, can we go back in and see what it does? You know, if it's not
Sweet.
too much trouble.
Like, do we need to keep this?
And sadly, that compass that you were using also to find the map maker seems to be just a broken compass here on the outside world.
Damn.
Yeah, cool. You want an eyeball?
Me? No.
Anybody else?
Toss it over the edge.
I will. Fucks it. And just kind of like wipes her hands like, ugh.
Mm.
Well, Tommy will say, "I'll step over and say, I'll have Popo make a great dinner before, you turn yourselves in for the night. I'm hoping to have a guest visit us while you're here.
So
Hopefully we'll enjoy dinner."
Is he well versed in the ways of poisons and chemistry and such?
Tommy? No,
Yeah.
he's not
No.
like that.
All right. I want to try to find the antidotes to these powders that the ninjas keep hitting us with.
Mm. Could be very useful.
Whether it be some sort of filters, nose plugs, or antidote, something. Because they had antidotes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The antidotes were for the poison of on their weapons,
But not the sleep or the fear
correct. But
or the paralyzing.
that's something you could definitely, that's something that you could look into with your time here, your downtime here.
Yeah.
Like, is there something that, like, I don't think you would be able to, I feel like a day trying to determine an antidote to these things.
Well, I'll just concentrate on the just one of them.
But
Sleeping powder.
you may have more success trying to come up with some makeshift gas masks if that was something you were trying to.
Yeah,
if that was-
even just something that we could plug our noses with, some sort of, with I'm not envisioning us fighting with gas masks like they had in World War One or something,
No. But like some kind of. You could get. I mean, if you want to bounce off your ideas, we see which one seems
Okay.
plausible
work
or
on
within
that.
your
Yeah.
character's capabilities.
Yeah, I'll work on that.
I mean,
Right.
don't I still have that journal from what's his face when he was in Crazy Man disguise? I mean,
Yep.
may as well still try and decipher it. I don't know if it'll work well because Callie's not that smart. We can try.
Absolutely. You will notice that the book has completely changed, and now you see writings and studies of how of what Valorant has been studying on this binding spell for centuries and centuries and eternities. You'll start to see the details of the ritual to bind the spell and what his theories are on the consequence of that, and the depictions of Chernobog and Merlin kind of be bound together. You will notice that there's just a big question mark though too near these ledgers and stuff that kind of say he really not absolutely sure what this will do once they're sealed back together once more. He does have all sorts of notes about how he thinks the relics can be used to, not only to seal them, but to slay Chernobog or Merlin themselves once you've enacted the spell. There's a
Yeah.
lot of theoretical research, and this is where you'll also, when I'm a better DM next week, I'll give you some mechanics on how to close rifts, how to possibly remove the darkness from certain individuals, and potentially you will read in your in your downtime here at the Corns or at the Cummings Lookout. You'll see that you also see there's a possible way to save the Dark Disciples, like save their souls from damnation or going back to Chernobog in the Dark Realm.
Yeah. Callie's gonna find somewhere to lounge and read the book.
Okay. Celine, what would you want to focus on? So, are you looking to focus on the powder, or are you looking, or what would you like to do during your downtime?
I'm gonna try to work on some gas masks, possibly.
Okay. Do you want to enlist any help of the others?
No, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, just kind of give me an idea of what you're thinking about crafting up, and we'll see how long something like that will take to craft, and we'll go
Okay.
from there. Cronus, Lorna, Skywar, anything that you guys want to make sure you set aside time for while you're here and having the breath of fresh air?
Sleep.
Skyward
right.
just passes out. Laura's going to go through the fucking bag of holding. At some
Okay.
point. Yep.
All right.
I would actually approach Kami, and I have two things. One, I'm going to ask him if he has any good ideas of what to do with Maleficent's staff that I still have.
That fucking curse thing.
Yep. And then also ask him to check on Umbra, since apparently he can see everything going on.
Definitely. He'll actually take you to look at it with him. He'll take you back to that same kind of viewing map of the world, and he'll bring up he'll zoom in on Galos. But you're not seeing the Stonehenge, you're not seeing the trees, you're just seeing clouds. And then once the clouds break, you see underneath the pines of the trees kind of on the floor below, and you see this adult-looking black dragon casting a silhouette across these trees as it flies above. He'll kind of back out a little bit further so you can see Umbra, and you'll see that Lorna's sister riding on back of Umbra, having the time of her life. At the same time, looks to be crying and screaming a little bit. But they seem to be getting along well. And he's much larger than he originally was when you first left him. He's definitely growing at a accelerant rate.
Alrighty.
You asked me one more thing, didn't you?
Maleficent's staff. I still have it in my bag of holding. And like my personal bag of holding. I want to ask him if he has any suggestions on what to do with this thing.
This is a very, very powerful item. The wielder of which will definitely be granted powers that they can dream of and use to their will, but at a great cost. For anyone who wields this staff will be cursed. And anyone that is slain by the wielder of the staff will not be able to pass into their afterlife, including the bearer of this item. It is quite a grave consequence. I would recommend you destroy this. Or left it where you found it in the first place.
Well, found it in the hand of the person trying to kill us with it. So that's probably not the best of ideas.
I would need to study it a little bit longer to come up with a plan to destroy it. Magical items, albeit not relics of Merlin, are still very can be very difficult to destroy.
Point at the door for the chamber. Be like, would it be safe if I just threw it in there?
He kind of looks frightened at the idea of, I would be afraid if someone lost in there were to uncover it and what they might do with it. Although they would be stuck in there forever. I feel like that might be like you can't use like a loaded gun expression. I'm trying to think.
It would be like loading a cannon and leaving the stock thing like an inch away from the fuse.
It's like leaving a loaded cannon for a child to come wander upon.
You know, just takes like one wrong shift of the wind and then boom, something explodes.
You wish for me to keep it in safekeeping. I can keep it with some of my more arcane items that I seal away from the outside world. Chambers that I dare not even open myself except to lock these types of things away. He'll motion for you to follow him if that's something of interest to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to carry this thing around.
Okay. He'll take you through one of the buildings and down these stairs that seem to just go on and go and wrap around. It's kind of nonsensical. It sometimes feels like it's outside of the physical realm of the actual structure that you're on itself. But eventually you find, excuse me one second. I'm trying to remember what this thing is called. Let me just look it up real quick. What's this thing called? Maybe Eric, I'm just gonna cut corners here and let you kind of educate me because I can't remember what this item is called. But he'll take you down to this room, and you'll see also in this room an altar with a vase on it. This, above the table is that vase that trapped Goku away in that dark dimension at one time. If you're familiar with the show, but he'll kind of motion.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought it had a name. I can't find it though. But anyways, he's like, this is where I keep all sorts of dark and things that need to be forgotten about. And he'll kind of motion to you for the staff if that's something you're interested in doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I would hand it over.
And he'll put it in the room, and as you walk away from the room, you'll see that the vault kind of seals up, and the stairs as you walk away seem to turn to darkness, and you return back to the surface of the lookout. And he'll just, is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
Good.
No, I'm good.
All right.
Callie's reading a book.
All right. Well, dinner is now served. Mr. Popo is very excited to be serving and being hospitable. And you all are welcome to take a seat at the table. I assume everyone's joining them for dinner again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lorna will make sure that Skybor is up and eating, even if he's half asleep.
Skywar, are you eating tonight?
Yeah, he'll be eat sleeping.
Okay. As you guys can eat dinner, you will remove a point of exhaustion for those that are partaking. And about near the end of dinner, you'll start to see a shadow, this big shadow kind of coming through the hallway leading to this dining area. And it's the shadow of this, of what looks to be like a cat with this walking stick. As you turn around, you see this shadow starts to shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink. And you see this little white cat with a wooden staff walking in, coming in, and Kami greets him. And they seem like they know each other and have been friends for some time. And he'll say, "This is my friend Corin. He has a very important job here in the tower, and I hope he has some good news to share with us as he has some good news for us tonight." Corin will then speak up and say, "The news is not as great as I had hoped, Kami, but I was able to manage to get you a few of the things that you asked for." He tosses this very, very small bag, not even probably big enough to hold a few coins, and he throws it to Kami. "I'm sorry, I was only able to get 3 of them mature enough before in the time that you gave me. 3 is better than nothing, Popo, or I'm sorry, Corin, and I'm sure these our friends here will find a way to make the best use out of them." He hands, he kind of places them on the table. He opens the bag, and pulling out a single little green bean in the palm of his hand. "These are sensu beans. Taking one of these will completely make you feel refreshed, revitalized, and be back into your tip-top shape. There's only a few in here, well, 3 to be exact. So use these sparingly and as needed. These could be the difference between winning and losing, and or not just winning and losing, living and dying." And he'll offer that to anyone who would like to take it from him.
Can they be cut in half?
Corin goes, "No." "You'll ruin the properties of the bean."
Didn't we have something like this before?
Mm-hmm. I reach into my pocket and I pull out the one I still have.
From Goku? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that looks like we have 4.
Possible that Skyboard could probably make more of those.
Ooh. Yeah.
I do got a spell, so I could probably make a garden of those.
Ooh. Let's do it. You should
I'll have to
probably
do
hold on to
some-
them.
I'll do some lore checking on that. But
Yes.
I don't know if I'm gonna give you a forest of long rest beans in your pocket.
Maybe when we all
There may be some limitations.
retire from
Yeah.
adventuring, save the world.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, if anyone's up to it, I'm certain that Skyboard could do it or figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to look into it mechanically because, yeah, giving you unlimited sensu beans is not going to work in this game.
It's like, oh look, magical plate.
If that's something you would like to look into, Skyward, I'll take that as a takeaway to figure out how we can do something like that or what that would break down mechanically like.
What does the sensu beans do exactly?
They give you the benefits of I guess they're not exactly long rests. They will completely heal you up, recharge your class abilities, and recharge your uh, heal you up, recharge your class abilities, and remove a point of exhaustion for you, or all exhaustion levels from you.
We could just make it where, like, depending on how high of a level of plant growth, I can like grow one bean.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it. I don't know if there's lore, because in Dragon Ball, the lore only, I think, as far as I know, only corn can grow them. That could
In
be
Yajirobe.
in corn. So, but I don't know enough about it, and funny enough, I doubt there's actually any kind of good lore or guidance on it, so I might just have to get creative. But we could definitely, like, it takes a long time for them to grow, so even if you start like a garden, you might get one every so often, So
Mhm.
let me just look into it, and we can figure something out. But otherwise, is there anything you guys like to do or ask at dinner or after your meals turn in for the night?
I think after the meal, Lorna would turn in for the night.
I assume everyone else, or Slim, are you staying up working on that mask more, or do you have kind of idea what you're trying to create yet?
Yeah, I put something in the chat.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a gas mask. I could probably make something with the ninjas. They had masks, didn't they? Face coverings.
Yeah.
I assume that those stopped them from breathing the powders that they threw, or not.
I mean, you didn't loot them, but I'll meet you in the middle. I'll say that you grabbed maybe some of their garbs, but not all of
Okay.
them, because you never called it out. But I never really said that was an option, so I'll meet you in the middle there. But yeah, if you're using those, I'll say you could fashion maybe 2 or 3 of those with the
Okay.
supplies you have. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a spell I saw. I did a search online, and it's a wizard spell that duration of 8 hours, or the masks will last for 24 hours, and then have filters, and the filters need to be replaced.
Gotcha.
Just
Do you have
basically
a magical spell to do that, or are you just looking to rely on the physical properties of the mask? I'll say
just the mask, the
it
physical
won't
properties of the mask.
it won't make you immune to it, but if you fabricate 2 to 3 of those masks, actually, let's go ahead and just roll a. Let me see. What would be a skill check for constructing something? Are you trained in any kind of crafting tools besides poison?
I do have a boon of cunning. I can use a bonus action to gain proficiency in any skill or tool of your choice for 1 hour. Once
Okay.
per long rest.
Okay, well, let's do that, and let's think of what kind of
Um,
skill check that would be.
Medicine?
I would almost argue some type of intelligence.
I think it's some type of blacksmithing or crafting, though, if you're trying to make a mask out of something.
Depends on what you're trying to make it out of, yeah?
A
Yeah.
cloth.
So there's like a weaver's tools, which would probably be the closest to get. Sorry, the accent's running out. Closest to getting a like sewing kit.
I like that. Let me see. Taylor.
Can I bring in the assistance of the purple guy? What's his name? Bobo?
Popo?
Mr. Popo.
Popo.
Mr. Popo would be happy to be of service if someone would give him the time of day.
Okay.
Let me just see what skill check it's recommending.
Now I feel kind of bad.
What do you mean?
We ignored Mr. Popo.
I do have
Okay.
my skills for costumes.
All right, so this is sort of recommending like a skill. There's no hard rules for this, so let me just. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with this. So it's gonna take some dexterity for the for the fine work and stuff, and some
Yep.
intelligence for designing and planning what you're trying to do.
Okay.
I will say the DC is fairly reasonable though because you have the ninja mask as a great starting point. Let's see how many effective masks you can craft though. So go ahead and give me an intelligence check to really kind of see how well you understand how these masks work. If you are so let's just do a straight intelligence check.
Now, do I add that boon?
No, that's only for
Bonus
skill
action to
checks.
gain proficiency in a skill or a tool. Okay.
Yeah, it's just an intelligence check. Okay. Really good intelligence check, so you don't waste one of the masks and trying to like experiment, pull on it, tug on it, rip it apart a little bit to see how it's all constructed. So your intelligence is helps you preserve one of the masks that you found. Let's go ahead and do let's just go ahead and do a dexterity check to see how well you do at kind of making it work to the purpose for your guys' purposes. There you go. With that, you'll definitely be able to craft three masks from the ninja masks you've collected over time.
And these will last 24 hours, and then the filter will need to be changed.
Correct.
So
That
once they're put on, 24 hours.
Correct. Now, this won't make you immune to the poisons or the toxins.
Right.
That comes from training with them, with the Ashi clan being around them for most of their life and being exposed in small microdoses. But this will give you advantage on any saving throws from any of the toxins that the Ashi throw at you guys from those powders.
I got 3 of them.
Yep, you got 3 of them.
I will give one to Lorna and explain what it is.
Thank you.
I will give one to Cronus. And because he always seems to get the short end of the stick, I'll give one to Skybor.
Okay.
And then I'll continue.
Oh. Like when you try to hand me the one, I would actually ask you to give it to Callie.
That'll work.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Sure. And then later on, when I have more time, I'll do some more research. I guess that's enough for the time we have here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably enough for the one night and stuff if you were working on that all day. So
all right,
that's good.
And I take that extra coin I have from the bazaar and I give it to Mr. Popo and I say, "Thank you very much. You were a big help."
He just kind of is happy to be appreciated, and he takes the coin gladly, and he puts it in his coin purse.
I said, "Here's a souvenir."
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do before heading to bed? All right. As you all head to bed and head off to a long rest, the toll of everything on your bodies is starting to let your body kind of slip into comfort. The time you spent in the chamber, everything leading up to it. This is really the first kind of big moment of rest without fear of something coming to slit your throats in all night. So everyone will get a pretty sound night of sleep. So if anyone has any exhaustion levels remaining, they're all going to be gone after this long rest. And you all can go ahead and level up.
Ooh.
Which I believe makes you level 15 now.
Yep.
Yippers.
Yeah.
Aw,
It's
shit.
awesome. I will go ahead and update your orb as well, Cronus. It does change a little bit. It does get stronger, but some of the mechanics on it change a little bit in relation to that strength and growth. Let me pull that up real quick.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes.
Lorna just doesn't stop raging.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
You don't stop raging until you decide to.
yeah, exactly. Or she falls asleep, or passes
There you
out.
go.
But
All right, so let me update your item card here, Cronus. So a lot of the abilities change because they go up in power. Let me go ahead and put this up here.
So level up is the character mancer.
Yes, but don't hit level 1 because
Yeah.
it will start you all the way over.
yes.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and read out how, the updates for yours real quick here, Cronus. So how it works now is once a day and after a long rest, you can use a bonus action to replenish 5 key points, but you must make a wisdom saving throw with a DC of 15. Unsuccessful saving throws will replenish only half the key points and cause you to suffer a point of exhaustion. And also, once a day and after a long rest, as a bonus action, you can make Flurry of Blows cost 1 key point for 1 minute, but you get 3 unarmed attacks now. You must succeed at DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be unable to use other key abilities during the duration, though. And then last but not least, Radiant Bolts can now target a second enemy as a separate attack. So when you use your Radiant Bolts, you can target 2 enemies now instead of just 1.
Right. Yeah, I'll need the card for that one.
Yep, I
Yeah.
updated it. It's in your it's under items for Dragon Ball. I changed it to Dragon Ball now that you know what it is. It's no longer just a simple orb.
I now have 7th level spells.
Ooh.
I always had the slots, but now I have the spells.
Yay.
Because level 13 cleric.
Awesome.
You guys, this might be a good stopping point for the night, just so you guys can level up your characters and not feel rushed. Does that sound good? And then we'll just pick up next session where you guys are well refreshed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning to head to your next location.
I think so.
Okay.